True Tov, everyone. Welcome to week number 72 in our Tillis Tells WhatsApp story group. I translated and expanded this story from a short article in Kfar Chabad magazine. Subsequently, I included in my second book, Festivals of the Full Moon, with the title Saturday Night Melody. In many Hasidic circles, the Rebbe Firin Tish, that is, he enlarges his mitzvah meal on festivals, Shabbos night and day, and on Saturday nights, and other special occasions to allow his followers and others to participate together with him. Throughout the meal, the Rebbe distributes some of the leftover food, called sharayim, from the different courses to his eager Hasidim. These occasions are nearly always full meals. Certainly, at least the Rebbe would wash his hands in order to eat bread. Not so in Chabad. Although the Lubavitcher Rebbe led Shabbat and festival Farbrengens get-together quite frequently, these took place in his synagogue and were primarily teaching occasions. A bit of cake and more than a bit of wine and vodka were present, but almost never did the Rebbe wash for bread. The exceptions were at the end of the festivals, when the Rebbe would declare a meal in order to extend the holy occasion. These took place towards the completion of Rosh Hashanah, Simchas Torah, Passover, and Shavuot. These meals would continue into the night, as would Shabbat day Farbrengens in the winter, after which the Rebbe would recite Havdalah, and thousands of Lubavitchers, members of other Hasidic groups and non-Hasidim from all over the greater New York area, some driving for hours, would arrive in the Crown Heights district of Brooklyn to file by the Rebbe for a bit of Havdalah wine that the Rebbe would pour into the person's cup. No exaggeration, thousands. A Saturday night Farbrengen, however, was especially rare. And for the Rebbe to wash in public for Malava Malka, the official Saturday night mitzvah meal for escorting the departing Queen Shabbat, was virtually unheard of. One Saturday night, however, the Rebbe did wash publicly and eat bread. This took place on Vav Tishrei 5735, September 1974, on the occasion of his mother's 12th yahrzeit. At the end of the meal, the Rebbe gave everyone who approached him a bit of wine, this time from the cup of blessing, upon which the concluding prayer for the meal was recited. One such visitor, a Jew from the relatively nearby Borough Park section of Brooklyn, was quite surprised when the Rebbe called him back after he had received his wine. "Did you participate in the Farbrengen, and did you wash your hands from Malava Malka?" the Rebbe asked him. "No," answered the Jew wonderingly, and added that he had just arrived a few minutes before. He had come for the cup of blessings. "Go wash now," instructed the Rebbe, "and eat something from Malava Malka." "After all," added the Rebbe, "it's a mitzvah to eat the Malava Malka meal, and a segula, a propitious thing for protection and success. As it says in the popular traditional Saturday night song, Al tira avdi Yaakov, do not be afraid, my servant Yaakov." And this was especially interesting because in Chabad they don't sing these Saturday night songs, yet the Rebbe quoted it. The man was quite taken by surprise, as were the people around him who heard the exchange, especially when the man told him that he hadn't come seeking a blessing or a segula for anything in particular. Nevertheless, he of course immediately went to follow the Rebbe's directives, washing his hands, eating a slice of bread and other edibles. 10 days or so later, during one of the nights of the Sukkot festival, when a number of Chabad Hasidim were sitting in Farbrengen in the large sukkah on the patio of 770 Eastern Parkway, the Rebbe's synagogue and Lubavitch World Headquarters, they were startled when the Jew from Borough Park burst in and shouted in high emotion, "L'chaim, l'chaim, my Jewish brothers, and l'chaim to the Holy Rebbe. This is truly a Baal Shem Tov style story. So amazing." He was clearly both shaken and excited. After he calmed down somewhat, he reviewed for them that his unusual encounter with the Rebbe 2 Saturdays previously, and then continued. "At 4 a.m. this morning, my son set out from Monsey by car." Monsey is more north in New York State. He set out from Monsey by car with his wife and children. On the way, a large freight truck crashed into them, and their car was totally destroyed. Miraculously, and by miraculously, I mean there is absolutely no explanation according to natural law, no one was seriously injured. In fact, nobody was hurt at all. All the policemen at the scene and all the passerbys said they had never seen such a miracle. And that's not all, he went on with great enthusiasm. From the force of the crash, all their belongings were crushed. And when they came back home, I noticed that among the crushed things was a siddur, totally unusual and illegible, except that one page had torn loose and was dangling out. The page on which was printed the Malava Malka song, "Don't be afraid, my servant Jacob. Al tira avdi Yaakov."